Hello and welcome to Clairvoyant Conversations. I'm Solreta Antaria. You can find out some more information on me and about my readings on my website. So if you just Google my name, which is spelled Solreta, you'll come up with a whole heap of things on Google. But I'm mainly known for my aura drawings. So I draw the colors that I see around people. We also do cards and do a guide session in the same reading as well. So sessions go for an hour. There's a link on my website which will also show. Hi, Jessica. Great, we've got some people joining us now. So I was just talking about full personal readings available on my website. Hi, Haley. Hi, Julie. So what we'll do, we'll start by doing a collective reading. So I'm still actually seeing like a big body of water around too, whether it's a collective, sometimes water will also represent as emotions. So we really want to be working through our emotions and whatever sort of like sieving or coming up, it's time to kind of like bring it to the surface, and it's coming up for a reason. So asking if it's a collective emotion or asking if it's an individual emotion. This is sort of like what's coming up for the next week. And we are in quite a strong emotional blueprint week. So tomorrow in Australia will be September 11th. So there's a lot of heavy duty energy that our consciousness has associated with that date. We also have the Egyptian equinox coming up too, because I've been getting shown through the week pyramids with sun in alignment, which represents that Egyptian equinox. So there's a big energy shift. We're also now in spring, which is wonderful. Even though we are still in lockdown, there's still a beautiful feeling with being in spring. So I hope everyone's outside enjoying that gorgeous weather. Hello to everyone who's just joining, and let me get a bit of paper so that we can do some readings and write some names down too. So we'll start with the collective, but I'll also be taking names and try and get to as many people as we can. I'll just show you too. So here's an example of a few of the aura drawings that we do in the private one-on-one session. So we do these with cards. We also chat to the guides and answer questions. There's another one too. You can see they're quite different to some of the other ones that we've held up the other week. Great, so we've got a few people joining us now. Hello everyone. All right, let's get to a collective reading first, and then we'll start to take as many questions as we can. Okay. Everyone just take a deep cleansing breath. I can feel people sort of holding their breath a little bit. So just relaxing in, feeling their shoulders drop. Okay. All right, so we've got the cards here. So we're going to tune in. So if you see me close my eyes, that's what I'm doing. Hello from the UK. It's lovely. We got quite a few people from the UK and from Ireland and America joining us. So hello to everyone overseas, sending a lot of love to the States at the moment with the fires that they've got over there too. All right, so I'm still seeing that body of water that we were talking about last week and this week. So we were just saying before everyone was jumping online. Hi, Bailey. Oh, it's a dress, this one. It's really cute. Yeah, so what I was saying with the water and the body, it's like an emotional body. So really like sieving up any emotions that are coming to the surface at the moment, feeling them rise up and release. So they're showing me, it actually is like a belly dance move. So it's like rise up and release, rise up and release. And the more that you can learn to go with the flow and to kind of like move with the waves and with the time, the easier it's going to be to release things. So they're talking about release and surrender. All right, so we've got that for the next couple of days. So remembering that we are going into quite a strong date. Hi, Jason. So we are going into September 11th here tomorrow in Australia. So that does hold quite a bit in our human psyche and consciousness. So really kind of like releasing over the next few days. And let's see. Yeah, I'm seeing ocean too, Bailey. That's interesting. And then sort of like midweek, I'm actually seeing that that wave like feeling coming back into the heart. So this is talking about getting in touch of your heart flow and getting in touch of your heart feelings at the moment. It's also about releasing old patterns is what I'm hearing. They're talking about like, what is it that you're holding like within your old psychology, right? Then I'm seeing sort of towards the end of next week, like a pillar coming down. So I feel there's kind of an anchoring that's happening. So it's like working through the emotions, going with the flow, releasing, releasing. They're saying it over and over. And then it's really like anchoring. So I feel that in order to kind of like anchor and find that pillar and that stabilization, we need to release. And they're saying the word shed too. So that might resonate with a few people. Let's flip this. Okay, oh, this is interesting. All right. So we talked about water. And we have this, which is the Queen of Cups. Look at the water. So remembering we were talking about clearing the emotions. So you can see there's a source connection here, and then there's a reflection happening on this lower level. So I'm sure a lot of you are resonating with this. This is all blue as well. This is like emotional healing. Hi, Casey. Good to see you here. Hi, Marlene. Michelle. Yes, Jason saying 9-9 portal energy. Yes, Mars retrograde too. So this is this release and surrender. So when we have Mars, which was kind of like a, you'd call it more like a patriarchal, masculine, and even sometimes a warring planet. When you have this and it sort of goes into retrograde, which moves backwards, sometimes we can be clearing different patterns and different energies around this. So noticing like your own psychology, noticing like your environment around if this Mars retrograde energy is coming up. We can also like remedy that with a bit of Venus medicine. So really like so important at the moment to give yourself that love, give yourself that nurturing, really like that deep nourishment. Lots of spa treatments at the moment, and I'm talking about at home. So I've been doing baths every night lately and just like releasing things that come up in meditation. It's really highly beneficial and so healing. So then the other card that we had midweek was change. You can see that we're kind of like in the midst of change, and I'm seeing this as like a snake in the figure 8 or an infinity symbol. So this is about going with the flow again, remembering we were talking about that energy, that almost like snake arms type energy. So we're going with the flow, and then we're going into dominion. This is where I saw that we had to hold our ground. We had to put like the stakes in the ground or like swords in the ground. So this is, you can see everything else is kind of spinning out of control. There's a lot of kind of Mars energy right at the top up here. We've got some Aries as well. So it's a little bit fiery and it's a little bit kind of like static electric. So it's like this intense energy in the air. So this is the time where you want to put the stakes in the ground and hold, but leading up to that, we want to release. So that's it for next week. Let's have a look and see if we can get to as many as we can. We've got a few people on the other side of the world here. Thank you for everyone for joining us. Let's see where we can start from. All right, Kerry Addison, let's pick a card for you. And we'll just write down a few others. There's a lot of orange around you at the moment, Kerry. We'll tap into that. So I'm just going to where Spirit is drawing me right now, where I'm feeling like a resonance or messages come through. Okay, we've got Cheryl D. Saint Laurent. And also, if I don't manage to get to you tonight, I do also have personal one-on-one readings. It's in multiple different time zones. So my website will also convert, and I've got a link to my website in this description. It will convert to your time zone. So I'm in Melbourne, Australia, and we do video chat. All right, so... All right, so Kerry Addison, let's have a look. So as soon as I go to you, Kerry, I'm being thrown colors of gold and orange, and I'm seeing them emanate, and they're coming off around sacral and solar plexus. And I'm seeing sort of like sparks of light coming off around this reproductive area, and also around this central part of your energy, which is the solar plexus, which is kind of near belly button. So let's see what we get with this. All right, so I'm just seeing like images of this golden kind of yellow color emanating from this. And they're talking about really at the moment, so you might already be doing this, really trying to focus on like your own personal power and noticing like when you're giving your personal power away, or noticing like when you're giving attention to things that don't perhaps empower you. So they're talking about making that switch. Bailey, I'll get to you as well. All right, so let's also see, Carrie, what we've got here. So I'm seeing that water energy that we had come up before coming in to do with you, Carrie. And what I'm seeing is the water coming in and then it's sort of lapping at this solar plexus energy. So this is really about like releasing emotions from the solar plexus at the moment. So hands on the solar plexus, asking if there's any emotions that need to be released. I'm also seeing a couple of things, I guess like more to do with like stomach, to do with digestion. So really looking at like if different emotional stresses and things make a difference to digestion. We'll flip this card. This is cool. This is all about going with the flow. That's like what we were talking about mid reading before. So really interesting. We've got the Princess of Cups here. This is about tuning into your higher self energy. It's also about like tuning into your own wisdom, tuning into your own magic, and then releasing it in your own way. So really beautiful card. It also brings in a lot of feminine goddess spirit energy. So really like tapping into that and streaming through, I guess, not having to be what you're not for others, or not having to meet others' expectations. So I hope that that helps. So we'll go to Cheryl de Saint Laurent, and let's pick a card for you. So we'll get to some more cards in a minute. Hi from Scotland, Katie. All right. So we're going for Cheryl at the moment. All right, so I'm just going to say things exactly as I'm seeing them. So what I'm seeing for you, Cheryl, I'm seeing like a hallway, and I'm getting taken down this long corridor, and I'm seeing spirit like guide me. I feel like we've got spirit around you in terms of loved ones that have passed on, and I'm feeling that someone's trying to contact you. So I'm not sure whether you've been having like little light touches or feeling kind of different things happening within the house, or perhaps like, you know, like little kind of like sensations and touching. They're just showing me it's like spirit is trying to call you or trying to communicate to you. And what I'm seeing is they're showing me auditory. So they're talking about if you like hear something like a noise, tune in and ask what that was, because they're showing me that spirit is trying to get messages to you. And let's have a look at this card. The other thing that I'm getting too, Cheryl, is a sensation like around the top of my chest and sort of going into my throat. And I feel like I'm sort of gulping a little bit. So I feel that it's, this is really learning how to kind of like manage if you get any feelings of like nervousness or anxiety or different things like that come up. I'm seeing this sort of energy. It's really about tuning into your emotions at the moment. Let's see what else we get. Okay, the other image that I'm seeing is a dolphin. So I feel that you have like a dolphin spirit totem animal around you at the moment. So when we have beautiful signs of dolphin, it's about love, it's about connection. Hi, Sana. And it really is, a dolphin is sort of like a soulmate energy. So this could even be something to do with relationships coming up for you as well, that the dolphins are trying to draw our attention to. They do have that beautiful joy and playfulness and that unconditional love that they help hold here on the earth in that beautiful consciousness grid. So let's flip this card. And this is cool. So we've got the Ace of Cups, and you can see this is a very empowering card. So remembering what we were talking about before to do with like this feeling around throat. So this is really about like releasing like what's on your mind, really kind of like surrendering it and voicing. And there's going to be more kind of like connection and abundance that comes from doing that. Oh, you're welcome, Carrie. Oh, that's so cool. You're doing a course on letting go at the moment. Well, that is perfect, because that was really what's coming up. So how amazing are you that you're already tuned in and working with that? That's awesome. Hi, Claire. All right, so let's also see if there's any other messages, Cheryl. Yeah, they're just saying pay attention to like auditory and kinesthetic, which is like clear feeling messages from spirit. The other thing that you can do is if you do notice them around and they're making you uncomfortable, or it's like, you know, they turn up in the middle of the night, just really like, you can send them into like a column of white light outside the front of the house. Just visualize a column of white light and send them onto there. You can also set your guidelines and boundaries and just say, look guys, I really prefer that you don't turn up in the middle of the night. Come back at daytime. So you can work with them as well. They don't have to just show up when it's sort of like psychic hour. And we are more receptive and we are more open to seeing and sensing spirit at those the early hours of the morning or late at night. So I hope that helps. Catherine Naylor, let's pick a card for you. Okay, so when I tune into your energy, Catherine, what I'm getting is this energetic hum. I'm not sure if you've been getting where you feel like a little bit lightheaded or a little bit dizzy, or that you're feeling ringing in or hearing ringing in the ears, but I'm actually feeling, you know, when you get like a sound and it has like a vibratory feel to it, or it's like a hum and you get the type of resonance and you feel that kind of like tingles and I like that smiley face, the cute and the love hearts. You get that kind of like resonance. So what I'm seeing at the moment is work on toning, work on unlocking this magic in your heart. Because what I'm seeing sort of like ripple up and come out of this is like a fountain bursting out of your heart chakra is what I'm seeing. And when you start to like work with this and you start to manifest with this, because this is what they're showing, it's like activate this heart chakra energy, start to like bring things in and really like magnetize to you at the moment. So tuning into that ringing in the ears, because that's spirit also trying to draw your attention to possibly what you were just thinking about. Also, we do get some of the ETs and the angelics that will communicate in this way. So some of the angelic beings will hear like a high-pitched sound. Some of the Pleiadian beings will also hear beautiful high-pitched sounds. So just even like popping your hands on the heart and kind of like settling into that high-pitched ear. Sometimes you'll get where your energy wavers back and forth when you start to like feel that resonance and start to vibrate with that. Because we are actually made up of electrons, and I guess it's sort of like a deeper density being in a physical body of these electrons. When you get the high pitch and when you start to work with that flow, this is really like you getting into this magnetic charge. And then if you can bring this manifestation into that heart and waver with this, you can really like flow that back out. And that's what they're saying to me at the moment. So I'm not sure if there's something in particular you're working on manifesting, but they're showing me to like release it and flow it. So really like pull it in. Oh, thank you. Let's flip this card. Oh, this is cool. So Princess of Discs, look at the power in that. How amazing. That gold and yellow color too in the background, which is sort of like, I guess, on the horizon or like in the past. Remember each time you've had things work out, each time that you've felt that you're within your power. This is about establishing balance. And this is also like mind over matter. This is also, you can see the trees are topsy-turvy in this. So like the branches of the trees or the green part of the trees is in the bottom. So she's kind of turned the world upside down. So it could be something really big that you're looking at manifesting, but please have belief in yourself. That is a really, really cool card. One that I feel that we could expand and touch on more to do with like what it is that you're manifesting and working with, because I just feel a lot of spirit energy around you, and it's like spirit's really, really excited. I feel like there's a team that's working with you to do with all of that. The other thing here is to have a clear plan of action, or whether it's you're actually physically writing down what it is that you're wanting to manifest. So I hope that that helps, Catherine. Bailey, let's pick a card for you. All right. I'm just hearing spirit say, beautiful, beautiful Bailey. Then I'm just being shown like all these different emojis that spirit's bringing through for you. And it's, you know, like when you're on Instagram stories, or if you're on Facebook stories, and there's like all the love hearts and they're like this, spirit's just like sending you lots of love hearts at the moment. I'm seeing like sunshine and different things. So let's have a look. I'm just feeling like a deep centering breath. And I'm actually feeling at the moment, they're talking about, oh, this is interesting. They're talking about vibration again. And what I'm seeing is, I'm not sure what sort of therapy this is called, but I'm feeling it's like shaking things out. So it's like feeling and breathing into the body, like really, really deeply. And then it's like shaking and releasing. And they're sort of saying, it's like, oh, this makes sense. Oh, so Cheryl's saying yes, definitely haven't been sleeping for the past week, waking up during the night and feel like someone is there. Yeah, definitely seeing someone is there. If you wanted to have a look more deeply in person, please let me know. Bookings available on my website as well. So what I'm seeing with you, Bailey, is they're talking about like getting into kind of these molecules of emotion. So it's similar to what we were saying before about like releasing it, but the way in which spirit is, awesome. So you're doing meditative dance. That's cool. Keep like shaking it out, release those emotions like through your dance as well. Let's also see what else spirit is showing me. So what they're saying is if you feel like any tension or anything, and spirit is showing me it's literally like your body filled with bubbles, and there's like little emotions that are stored here and like in the belly, and they're talking about like getting into that kind of like wave of releasing it. There's something else that they're getting into. Oh, that's right. So what I'm seeing to do with this like shaking, so they're talking about your central nervous system, and they're talking about the impact of emotions on your central nervous system. So this is also related to autonomic nervous system. So this can sometimes be to do with it can link in to do with our organs, that can link in to do with our chakras, that can link in to do with our spine. And I feel that this is linking in also to do with spine and to do with support is the area that it's taking me to. So it's talking about like focusing on that central nervous system, asking if there's anything that it needs to release. And I'm seeing a dog shaking off at the moment. So when we look at animals, if animals have sort of had like an emotional trauma or like a fight, or they've had oh, thank you, Michelle. Or they've had some kind of like impact. What they'll actually do is you'll see them shake. So dogs and cats will shake it off. Whereas humans, we kind of just, we end up sort of storing things within us. So they're showing me perfect that you're doing the dance, because this is really kind of helping to move those emotions. So let's flip this card. Wow, look at this goddess power. This is the card of lust. Look at this goddess in control. She's birthing something new, but doesn't that look like a little molecule of an emotion that she's releasing to the surface? And you can see there's a couple of little orb ball type energies. We were seeing bubbles before. So this is really like, you're really like in the movement of that transition and kind of like in that transformation of self. You're building that goddess energy. Look at this. This gorgeous like higher self coming in. And this is what we would sort of like, the word that spirit's giving me, it's sort of like quietening those like inner demons, or quietening those inner workings of the mind, or quietening other people's, to kind of like focus on your own goddess self and like shut out others. So Bailey's saying, okay, I'm understanding this right now. I've always stored emotions. So bring it with dance. I'm loving this card. Perfect. And you're such a goddess as well that I love dance. You know that I love dance too. So that's perfect. Yes, Golden Goddess. All right, so let's get to some more cards, and hopefully we can answer as many as we can. A few other people are also saying about the ringing in the ears. So really just notice the synchronicities around when you hear the ringing in the ears, because this is how the angelics will try and communicate. They'll try to come through as frequency, try to come through as pitch. Sometimes it is the ET realms too. All right, let's see. So we've got Maria Cristina Rocha. And we've got Carmencita Rodriguez. Sorry if I'm pronouncing anyone's names incorrect. I am dyslexic, which is a superpower. Okay. All right, so we'll start with those two, then we'll get to as many as we can. Oh, you're welcome, Cheryl. Thank you. Oops, we've got cards already jumping out for you. So I had two jump out for you, Maria. Let's have a look. Luckily, they jumped out face down because I prefer to work with them that way. All right, so what I'm seeing is mountain ranges, and I'm seeing in the distance, and I'm seeing blues, I'm seeing whites, and I'm seeing greens, and I'm feeling open spaces. And my heart just feels so free, and my spirit just feels so free. I feel like I'm kind of there more in meditation at the moment, or if you've been like longing or planning a holiday or a trip, I just feel that your spirit needs that kind of like escape. at the moment is what they're showing me. And I'm just sort of seeing, it's like, imagine carrying these heavy bags and you just drop them and you just feel that freedom, that sense of that weight coming off your chest. Spirit is guiding me to get you to visualize and work with this at the moment. They're saying there's a lot that you've been carrying and it's time to release. And they're talking about heading to the mountains for kind of like some solitude time and some peace. Not that that's always physically possible, so we can do this in meditation as well. Let's also just see what this other card is. Yeah, the other one I'm seeing is sort of getting out in nature. Nature is like really important for you at the moment to charge. Let's flip these cards. Yeah, look at this. So these cards are, we've almost got like the dark version and the light version. So we'll go here. So we've got the, where are we? We've got this card, the failure card, which is like carrying all this heavy burden. And I always see this as sort of like a card where the eggs haven't hatched, or there's not been enough nurturing for these eggs in a nest to kind of hatch. And then we've got where you pay attention and you drop the weight and everything comes into alignment. The sun is shining again and there's all this beautiful nurturing energy from the Taurus. So Taurus really represents kind of that mother, that nurturer energy, but sometimes she has to get strong in order to put herself first so that then she can flow this energy onto others. So I hope that helps. Let's see. Carmen Sieta. All right. So when I'm tuning into you, Carmen Sieta, I'm seeing this beautiful rose coming through from spirit, and it's like it's like filling up my whole hands. It's like 2 palms worth of a giant rose, and it's the most beautiful kind of like claret wine color. It's exquisite. And the perfume that's coming off this, I feel that this is a gift from spirit. So a lot of the time when loved ones are passed, they will bring through beautiful images of flowers. They'll bring through perfumes, which are kind of gifts from the spirit world. What I'm feeling with this is I feel like a grandmother connection, and I'm just feeling like her love around you, and she's just kind of like really nourishing on such a deep level. She just appears to me as an older female spirit. Let's flip this card. So we've got this. I'm not sure if there's a couple of things going on for you right now, but spirit really is trying to bring through comfort, especially amidst this chaos as well. And it's really just trying to get you to enjoy that perfume, which is when we smell, it's one of the senses that snaps us back in. It can recall memories not only from this life, it can recall memories from past life too. So really like immerse yourself with rose at the moment, whether you're doing like rose water bath, rose petals in your bath, rose tea, like make yourself a love potion. Whether you're using rose oil, rose perfume, this is kind of like the medicine for the heart at the moment is what spirit is showing me. So like just immersing your senses in that rose energy. So I hope that helps. Let's see. Julie Sinclair, let's pick a card for you. Julie, I just feel such light energy with you. And we'll just write down a couple more names. The fairies are playing around you, Julie, is what I'm seeing. Okay, so Marley Safarini. And if Spirit has anything to say. All right, so Julie Sinclair, let's have a look. Yeah, I'm hearing like playful music. It's I'm actually hearing the song from The Lion King. So sometimes when I hear the music from The Lion King, sometimes it's an indication that there's ETs around you in sort of like a spirit guide format that look like lions. For some reason, they bring through that song in the jungle, the mighty jungle. All right, let's have a look. All right, so this is actually in reference to do with the whole COVID situation. So I'm not sure if just life's been a little bit more hectic at the moment, or if there's, you know, a little bit that you're feeling kind of frustrated or fed up with this. But what I'm seeing is to call back in kind of that playful energy. So the one thing about like lion beings or like lion ETs, and I do have an example somewhere of what I'm talking about. Let's see. So we've got this beautiful lion type energy that comes through. So they come through as like pillars of strength. They come through to hold frequency, and they come through to, you can call them in as like protectors and have them stand on your property. They help to hold space. They're amazing like when you're meditating, and there's sort of like a playful nature with them a little bit as well. In that, you know, you think about cats and they can be like quite protective, quite serious. They're beautiful, beautiful creatures. So some of the ETs that are connected to do with like the lion energies are from Sirius, some are from Lyra, and some are from Orion. So the energy that they bring through sometimes is kind of like a commander, galactic upholder of truth, and upholder of peace. And they're there to kind of help establish certain treaties and different things as well. There's a lot I could go into to do with the lion beings. So let's also see what we have around. All right, so what I'm seeing connected with this too, this is very much like about physical things at the moment, is the energy that I'm seeing. So I'm seeing a lot of like root chakra energy, a lot of connection to do with the earth. They're showing me actually getting and sitting outside and kind of like anchoring yourself to the earth at the moment. So feel yourself kind of like breathing back into that connection with the earth, getting in synchronicity with the Schumann resonance, which is the heartbeat of the earth. So back, say, when was it? Back like 20 years ago, the Schumann resonance of the earth was about 8 hertz cycles per second. We're now starting to hit up to 50. So with this shift that's taking place, and we're getting towards the 21st of December, which is the end of the main calendar, we want to really be reaching around 150 hertz. So we have a bit of a shift, which also means that there's a destabilization happening with a lot of people right now, but also thinking about it as a realignment. So that's not meant for us, or things that we need to release. Spirit is kind of taking out the way. So this is about going with the flow, is surrendering, re-establishing like your connection with nature. If you think about like, there's a saying, I'm trying to think, I actually saw it pop up on Instagram today. So spirit will sometimes remove things that are not meant for us, or that are not meant to be in our life. And sometimes we don't always know until later exactly why that happened. And sometimes it's quite often because there's something better. So let's also see if there's anything else. No, I'm just seeing that root chakra, seeing like grounding energy. So remembering calling in those beautiful lion beings that are working with you. Also, when we think about so cats, to say like if we're not feeling well, and I'm sure there'll be a few of you here too that experience this. So I know with my kids, I've had stomach aches or they've not felt too well. One of the cats will actually go and sit on them and will purr. And then my kids shortly after will start to feel better. So there's a certain hertz, I guess like output or tone that emanates this healing frequency and this healing vibrations. The cats are very healing animals. Let's flip this card. This is interesting. So this is this reconnection. This is the card of strife. So this is where I was talking about possibly some things that might be getting taken out that are no longer needed. So really like releasing but standing strong, that pillar. You know, get on the earth. This is a time to learn more about yourself, is what I'm seeing at the moment. So I hope that helps. So that was for Julie. All right, so Miley. Oh, and Carmen Sienta, you're saying yes as well. Thank you. All right, so Miley. All right, so Spirit is bringing through you a yellow rose. So yellow rose is not quite often one that I see come through from Spirit. Yellow usually is around friendship. So I feel that this is a friend that has passed, is just around, and I'm feeling so much love come through. They're coming through on my left-hand side, and that usually means more so like a female, or sometimes it can mean they've come through in the female side of the family. So I'm seeing a female spirit that's standing on my left-hand side, and I'm just feeling like a lot of love and a lot of gratitude coming through from this spirit too. I'll just see if there's anything else. I just feel into this card if there's any messages coming through. Okay, so they're talking about communication at the moment, and they're talking about establishing more peace. So just seeing if that resonates for you right now, whether it's to do with like a family situation or coming to like a inner peace within yourself. But Spirit's just talking about that. So let's have a flip. So we've got this card of satiety. So this is really about getting into that Christ consciousness energy. And look at this. It's not a yellow rose, because we don't have yellow roses in these cards. It is a Christ consciousness rose at the top of these beautiful cup cards. So this was Spirit, what we were saying before. So imagine this being yellow, because I was seeing a yellow one come through because it's connected to do with friendship. Yeah, tuning into the light of the spirit world right now, but like really sort of like actively doing it. So it's quite interesting. This is also about having confidence in your ability to listen to spirit. And remember, we talked about communication, but I feel the communication side of things is more to do with family right now, and to do with sort of being a little bit of a peacekeeper. So it might be about like weighing up like what's really important. Is this kind of like fight, or is this not fight, but it's like, is it important to keep the peace right now? Because I am seeing that kind of Mars energy too, and it's also in the card. So we have Mars retrograde and Mars energy. So just being really careful at the moment to do with this. So I hope that helps. Let's see how many more we can get to. Talia, let's pick a card for you. Talia King. Oh, okay, cool. Let's pick a card for Gail Brockleman. And she's also saying that need guidance on spiritual path. And you were also saying something about, oh, I've lost my comment, but you were saying something about synchronicities and numbers and things too. Okay, and let's see, we've got Christy Johnson. And Janine Grison. I hope I'm saying your name right, Janine. So what is the meaning of seeing the same repetitive numbers over and over in threes? So when we get things like that come up, it's usually spirit trying to get our attention, or the universe getting us to pay. And I'm just feeling like a cool breeze from spirit come through from the back, like someone breathing. So I'm not sure, Janine, we're just going to answer your question. My spirit is here as well. So Janine Grisson, you were asking about number synchronicities. I'm actually feeling spirits down like right behind me. They're just like calmly blowing on the back of my neck. Spirit is really trying to captivate your attention with these numbers. So when you get them, just tuning in. Oh, Carmen Sienta, thank you so much. I miss my grandmother so much at the moment. You made me cry. Blessings to you. I'm sending you so much love, and just really even like meditate upon that beautiful crimson rose that your grandmother brought through too, because it's straight from her heart, and it's a beautiful gift. And I think the more that we tune into that frequency and the energy, the more that it helps fill those gaps. It helps feel, what it is that we're missing. Because spirit really is it's still that same soul is there, but they're just organized in a different density. So we're in 3D density. They're just outside of our frequency. They're still around to kind of, meditate and connect with. Also, my bookings are available. If you Google my name, or even in the description link, you'll see that I have a link straight to my website for bookings. So yeah, Janine, we were talking about like spirit blowing on the back of your neck. The other thing, I'm not sure if you've been seeing like, I'm seeing a white dove, and I'm seeing feather. I think you actually did say something about feather, but I lost your comment. But I'm seeing a white dove come up. Pay particular attention to white birds at the moment for you. This is also connected to do with the angelic realms. I'm actually feeling and hearing that you're quite connected to the angelic realms. I'm getting a high pitch come down through heart chakra, and I'm hearing that resonance and that frequency. Is actually quite magic. And they're talking about, you do speak the language of the angels, but you need to encourage your heart to really kind of have courage and trust in the messages that you get is what I'm seeing with this. Let's flip this card. This is perfect. The Princess of Cups. Look at the white. She's a swan. So swans are usually white. We have black swans. This one's a white one in this, but they've brought it in like more shaded. So the swan up here, remembering the white feather, the angelic realms, and bringing this through. This is about you bringing your gifts through onto earth. This purple that we see here in her skirt, this fabric, this kind of like flow, this softness, this is about bringing through your wisdom. And we also have this lotus flower too, which is about the unfolding of your psychic senses and your crown chakra is what I feel. So I hope that that helps. That's quite a beautiful energy that you've got there. So let's go to Talia King and pick a card, and we'll try and get to as many more as we can. All right. Oh, Talia. So this is interesting energy. I'm actually feeling like this sort of like wave of like dizziness. Some people would call it like vertigo. Some people would call it sort of like just feeling dizzy. But I'm like hands on the table. I'm feeling like to stabilize myself because everything's kind of spinning. So sometimes this will show when there's like vertigo, when there's like ringing in the ears, high pitches, when there's like vibrational upgrades and shifts, and we're sort of like feeling that synchronicity where we're taking in more of our higher self is starting to anchor. So sometimes when we get more of our higher self come in, there's a higher awareness that we're anchoring to. And this also means that sometimes it's making room for this to anchor and letting the old things filter out. So they're talking about like hold on for the ride at the moment is the message that Spirit is bringing. Let's flip this card. Yeah. Wow, we've had this a few times tonight. So this is like that spiraling or that energy, and they're talking about holding on for the ride. So really important at the moment. So I hope that that helps. Gail Brackleman, let's pick a card for you. Okay, so Gail, as I'm tuning in to your energy and picking a card, this is really interesting, just your energy. So I'm actually getting taken onto a different frequency. So what they're showing me is you have that ability. Oh, thank you, Gail. You have that ability to kind of like go between, to sometimes like go into hiding is what I'm seeing. And they're talking about knowing like when to hide and when not to hide. And they're talking about in terms of like who sees you. So sometimes we can have that feeling of like wanting to be more introverted, and they're really encouraging and pushing you to really start to live like more into who it is that you are, and not feel that you have to kind of like tone or sort of like shape yourself like a chameleon to adjust to make others comfortable. This is really like establishing what it is that you lack, like what your strengths are, your beliefs and things like that. I'm just seeing Spirit's like, come on, like let's like start to anchor this frequency of who you are and get like excited about things. So I'm seeing that kind of guidance around at the moment. I'll just see if there's anything else. The other thing that I'm seeing too is what we call light codes. So this is like an ET language. So it's also known as light language. It is a language of activation that's understood and works within the empathic field or the energy system. And it's not words that are translated word for word, like English into Spanish or Spanish into English. It's one that our body understands. So let me just see if there's anything that they're wanting to say. And we'll bring it through in light language, and then I'll translate it into English. All right, so this is for Gail. But everyone else can tune in too, because sometimes you'll get different downloads and different feelings within the body. So noticing if there's also, oh, I love you too, Bailey. Thank you. So yeah, just noticing if there's any feelings, sensations, or messages that come through for you. So Gail, this is for you, and then we'll translate. Alinirata kaya shoya tayara. Alinirata kaya soto arana. Mihalinirata kaya soto yar sala. Alayana nirata kaya saya to yarato. Iayana hata kausu. Iayuruta arato yar satar. Mahayano yara saya urutuko ishua. Iayana yarata kaya soto arana. So what they're showing me is this beautiful energy coming in. It's gold infusing with spirit, and it's bringing through this enlivening energy. It's kind of like if we think about electrical wires and they have coating to kind of like shield and protect. I'm seeing spirit at the moment is bringing through this gold energy of like shielding and protecting, but it's also vibrating so high that anything that's not for you is falling away. Let's flip this card. Yeah, we had the card of worry. So they're really trying to like clear out anything that might be causing you worry and bring through that beautiful, peaceful energy, which is, it feels very elfish, the frequency of the language that comes through for you as well. So maybe doing a meditation around like fairy realms, around kind of like the elfish realms, possibly watching Lord of the Rings, things that are going to get you tapped into that elfish energy that is around you. So people that have elfish energy sometimes can be really sensitive to things of this 3D density and vibration. So I hope that helps. So we've got Christy Johnson. Let's pick a card for you, and then I'll get to as many other cards as we can. Okay, so Christy, what I'm seeing drop in for you at the moment is spirit is clearly bringing through the crown chakra. I'm getting downloads about having confidence, possibly in a new career, education and learning, but it's around the intellect. So if there's something that you've been thinking about doing on an intellectual course level, please like have more confidence in yourself around this, or whether it's sort of like an upgrade, or whether it's kind of yeah, when I get that yellow come up, it's usually around study, education, learning, sometimes around teaching too. So let's tune into this card and see if there's anything else. I'm also seeing white feathers around you too. So paying attention to the signs. You're so welcome, Gail. And Marley, you're welcome. So yeah, Christy, tuning into like looking for the synchronicities at the moment. Be on the lookout for white feathers of confirmation is what I'm feeling. Let's flip this card. Truth. This is also about like your heart chakra. And see the static sort of energy in the background. Coming to this peace within oneself will help to cancel out this noise and this vibration in the background. So I hope that that helps. Yeah, it's a beautiful, beautiful card. So let's see who else we can get to. Okay, I hope I'm saying your name right, Cadiz. Kedz. So hopefully I'm saying your name right. And we just want to know if guidance on my path. Hope everyone's having a lovely Thursday night too. Beautiful spring in Melbourne. Let's see. Okay, Amanda Nelson as well. And this is guidance on work. And we also have, I'll stick with these two for the minute. Hi, William. Nice to see some guys on here tonight too. Just welcoming all the guys that are in the tribe too. Even though we are mainly women, it's nice to have a mix of energies and to get some of that balance of masculine and feminine energy. So Cadiz, or Kedz, was that? So guidance on your path right now. All right, so what I'm actually feeling with you is, this is interesting. Spirit is talking about getting into feeling. They're really encouraging you at the moment to work on your empathic gift, because you're a deep, deep feeler is what they're showing me. You're actually able to really tune into people, whether you're using psychometry, so you can read through photos. This is like a gift and a skill that they're showing me. So even like picking up objects, so say like someone, like you practice with like a friend's ring, and just holding it in your palms, closing your eyes, and seeing like what's the first thing that comes to mind. Is it a color? Is it an emotion? Is it a feeling? Spirit is really guiding us to work with this right now, because they're showing me that you have quite a quick like ability, and acumen is the word that they're showing me around connecting to spirit in this way, to do with your empathic ability. But this also means that we need to be careful to wash off excess energy and things too, if it's become too much or becoming like overpowering. Let's flip this card. Yeah. So this is what we were just talking about, like making sure to kind of like wash away this energy. Oh, and Janine was saying, oh my God, he breathes behind me a lot. Yeah, I can feel it. Someone was fully standing, breathing behind me, making the hairs on my neck stand up. So yeah, spirit is definitely around you. So with this card, we have that green energy of the heart. So you work like 100% in your heart, which also means that you need to be careful to not absorb too much into your heart. So learning to, I guess, distinguish between like what's your emotion, what's someone else that you might have absorbed their emotions around. So this is like having a practice around washing off other people's energy and kind of like having that distance from other people's energy too. I'm also hearing the word like drop expectations from others is what I'm hearing and seeing. So I hope that this helps. That's something that if you needed more guidance on, I could help you in a one-on-one hour reading as well. And Amanda Nelson, let's have a look for guidance on work. All right, first thing I'm getting taken to, there's a card jumping out. First thing I'm getting taken to you is they're showing me a body of water and I'm seeing a still lake. Okay, they're talking about peace at the moment, and I'm seeing you float in the middle of the lake. And they're saying, we're not seeing waves, we're not seeing anything sort of happen right now. They're talking about it's time for kind of like a rest and a pause, and just to feel yourself sort of like surrendering into that stillness of the water. So they're talking about, it feels like a time of, they're like, the spirit is saying they're not even wanting to wait, and they're not wanting to, how would we say, they're talking about like a timeout or a pause, talking about time for a reflection, because I'm also seeing that still body of water as having reflective, what would you say, like reflective qualities. So let's flip this card. Yeah, this is really about connection to self, going back into a state of peace. So this is the card of strife. So kind of shutting out things that are around you right now, going back into that like floating state, and even just the energy, like I'm feeling the energy of that lake right now. And what's interesting is they're not showing it as a natural man-made lake. As a natural lake. I'm seeing it as a man-made lake. So you might actually have to make an effort to go and have some solitude and have that time out. You might need to put a few boundaries in place. What I do see is kind of like a squishy kind of floaty with you as well. So I hope that helps. So yeah, remembering that that's to do with work too. So it's looking like not to make any quick decisions around things right now, or if you've already possibly, about to sign something or about to step in a direction, reflect for a moment. All right, so William Ray, love to gain some guidance around surrogacy will be successful. Let's tap into that important question. All right. I'm just seeing so much love around you, like from spirit, William. There's a lot like on a spiritual level that I'm seeing around you. So whether you like call in spirit and work with spirit daily, but I'm just seeing it's like whatever you're calling in for protection and cleansing. And I feel like you've been sending prayers out there to spirit around having a baby. And I'm just getting tingles all over, like spirit is listening, they're hearing you. Please keep working with them with that. Please have confidence in that is also what I'm hearing them say. The other thing that I'm feeling, which is really interesting, I am actually feeling that reproductive energy. So I'm feeling the electricity to do with, how would I say, like reproductive energy. There's a lot of electricity around that. So making sure that you're getting like your health up to optimum, that you're really, how would I say? So when we look at sperm has a particular frequency and it's encoded is what spirit is showing me, and there's an electrical charge that it will have. They're talking about making that electrical charge quite potent is what I'm seeing in connection with spirit, bringing through that message around sperm. They're also talking about like nutrients to kind of, I guess, make those little swimmers into like little warriors and little fighters. So they're talking about making sure that this is not having your phone in close proximity either. So making sure that you or your partner are not using, that you're like EMF shielding and protecting. Oh, you're welcome, Janine. Let's have a look. What else am I getting? So yeah, I do feel a lot of energy around spirit to do with surrogacy and things like that. And I feel like they're like this on the other side. And I'm also seeing like family around on both sides in the physical and in the spirit realm, like cheering and championing on. So I feel like when this baby does come about, that there will be a lot of excitement and so much love is what I feel. Oh, this is cool. This is Valor. Look at the electric charge in the middle with this. So this has a lot of Leo and Mars energy too. Come into alignment with yourself. Feel that power that you've been putting out to do with spirit is what I'm seeing with this. There is, okay, so this is really lovely. So with our babies that we bring through, and it doesn't seem to matter like which way we bring them through, because even babies that come to us that are like stepchildren or foster children, or whether we have our babies through surrogate, there's a soul connection. And what I'm seeing come through with this soul is it feels like there's a special one in the waiting. So meditate, connect to that future soul energy of that baby. And I feel that you're setting up beautiful family templates and grids in the spirit world first, and then it will be an anchoring of that spirit here. It feels like a very high frequency spirit. There is kind of what I would call like a little bit of sassiness with this spirit. There's Leo energy in this card and Mars energy, which sometimes can be like a little bit kind of like fiery. They know what they like and they know what they don't like is what I'm seeing with this. So hopefully that helps. And let's see. Oh, thank you, Janine. That's so sweet. Oh, and Amanda's saying, I'm just going to try and read through a couple of the questions because I feel like there's a few synchronicities and things that we want to go over too. So Amanda's saying that she's seeing bluebirds constantly for the last 6 weeks. Is there a message for me? So even just like to do with bluebirds, sometimes they are a messenger and sometimes they are a messenger from spirit. Jason, love heart, light language. Yes. All right. So around the question of bluebirds, I'm actually feeling spirit come through on the left-hand side, and they're showing me this action of like strength and kind of like pulling it in. I feel this European energy come from spirit around this, and it feels like a feminine energy too. So paying attention to someone of a European background that might be in spirit is what I'm seeing connected to do with this bluebird. So let's flip this card really quickly. Strength. That's that action that I was talking about before. It's like bringing it in, pulling it down. It's like, you know, in the movies where you see, what is it, that movie, Bring It On? And there's like spirit fingers, but then there's the bring it down, or like the 80s movie, bringing it down. So I'm sort of seeing spirit go like this, but it's in a very European, strong, sturdy personality. So that person had quite a strong soul is what I'm seeing. If they're not, sometimes like we'll be aware of spirit later, or sometimes it will be a spirit that is strong in frequency and connection in someone you know, when we get a really strong spirit like that. Oh, thank you. There's someone saying that they're going to book as well. Be lovely. Let's also see. Oh, thank you, Rosie. She's just saying she likes my name. Let's see how long we've got. So we've got 3 minutes left. Just checking. Okay. Jason, let's pick a card for you. 555, big change is coming, and I feel that you're a giver, so I want to give back to you. Let's have a look. Yes, it does feel like big change is coming. I'm seeing that body of water that we were talking about at the start before, and Spirit has brought through 2 cards. I'm seeing what feels like, oh, in the back. I don't know if you guys could hear that, but Spirit was just like in my back. It's like center of the back. So in chiropractics, when we have the middle of the back out, this relates to immunity. So please like working on building up your strength and immunity at the moment. And also spine represents support. But yeah, mid back definitely is immunity. So high vitamin C's, looking at different things that are immune strengthening and immune boosting also is what we're looking at. So this big body of water, I keep seeing it. Came up last week too. All right, so what I'm seeing is like Spirit's like talking about you're already in this zone. Oh, so you're saying you saw 333 and 000 today as well. So what I'm sort of seeing is Spirit actually getting us into that state of stillness. Let's flip these cards. Oh yeah, How weird, we're getting the same cards come up from people. This is bizarre. So we've got the card of Satiety and the Princess of Cups. So this is really like, which one are we on? This one is like bringing down that light energy, that frequency, connecting in to do with this this beautiful Christ consciousness energy. I feel that this is spirit saying that you can make a change. You can make a difference. You flowing that spirit energy and that love and peace that you bring to the planet, and this awareness of the synchronicities. And that's what this is about too, that you're actually like establishing kind of like a grid system, or like an energy coming down. So please know that what you're doing in spirit work is helping to establish that kind of peace on earth and that sense of foundation for others. And I'm seeing spirit show me you taking others under the wing. So whether there's been people that you're waking up to messages to do with spirit, or whether it's that you're helping people open eyes, I feel like spirit's just like, thank you. Also paying attention to what you're thinking right around when those numbers are happening and those synchronicity. Katie's also saying that she's seeing 555. So sorry for people I didn't get to tonight. If you did want to book a private one-on-one reading, I have the link in the description box just up ahead. So I do specialize in aura drawings and messages from guides and angelics, and I work very much within the other realms that coexist just outside of our frequency. So we are heading more to having that unveiled. We are starting to see more ETs. We're starting to see more spirit appear on the earth. So if that is something that interests you, or if you feel them around you and you would like to have a clearer picture of it, I highly recommend having an aura drawing session with me, which we also do the tarot cards, and we also bring through information from your guides as well. So yeah, everyone have a beautiful night. Thank you so much for joining us, and I'll quickly just pick a card for the rest of the week, what to focus on. Ascended Masters of Light. So everything we were just saying. Okay, so it says I call on the Ascended Masters of Light for love, guidance, and wisdom, and I ask that they actively participate in my life. So really feeling those other realms, those other dimensions close to ours right now. And I'm just sending you all so much love. Have a good week, and I'll see you next week. Bye.